Welcome back. If you are ready, let's begin with the first lesson. I'm just going to really quickly show you how to make sure that the ray trace settings are enabled in Unreal Engine. To enable ray tracing in Unreal Engine effectively, a high-end graphics card is recommended. Basically it handles the heavy computational demands of ray tracing and ensure a smooth performance and high quality visuals. So make sure that you have right graphics card in your machine. But no need to worry. It's possible to use Unreal Engine without any RTX card, but you won't be able to fully utilize ray tracing features. You can still work on projects, develop games, and use other rendering techniques that don't require ray tracing. For ray tracing, you may require a high-end graphics card for optimal performance. So if you are managed or upgrade Unreal Engine 4 to 5 and the ray trace settings is not going to be enabled by default, and you might also want to know how to enable ray tracing instead of Lumen, right? So let's go to the project settings. For that, I'm going to the edit tab and I'm going to select the project settings all the way down, or else you can directly access the settings from top right side here. Click on the settings and you will be able to find that project settings just below the world settings. Click on that. And once this open, let's go to the all settings and search for RHI and make sure that the default RHI is set as direct extrude. In Unreal Engine, RHI means the rendering hardware interface. It's an abstraction layer that allows the engines to work with different graphics APIs like DirectX, Vulkan, OpenGL. This will be enables the engines to run various platforms by adopting its rendering for each system hardware. Especially, DirectX is often considered as the best choice for Unreal Engine on Windows due to their performance. And it supports advanced graphics features like ray tracing, enabling high quality visuals, and it much more optimized for Windows. Now let's go to the engine. Let's navigate rendering. Let's type ray tracing in the search tab. Now we need to turn on the hardware support ray tracing option. Now the current Unreal Engine project will be support hardware ray tracing if your GPU is available to support. And next to that, we are going to turn on use hardware ray tracing when available. Basically, the Unreal Engine allows the engines to automatically use hardware accelerated ray tracing on RTX or similar GPUs for better performance and visual quality. If there is no compatible GPU is detected, it will be definitely fall back to a slower software ray tracing method. Now let's enable the ray trace shadow option. The ray traced shadow in Unreal Engine provides much more realistic and detailed shadow with soft edges and better accuracy, just like help us to enhance the overall visual quality in Unreal Engine. Now let's jump back to all settings and let's search for global illumination. In the global illumination tab, and what you're going to see, it's like a little settings that's pop up. It's called a dynamic global illumination method. And for this project, it's currently set as Lumen. And if you're creating a brand new project, the default global illumination is set as Lumen. And if you want to upgrade a project from Unreal Engine 4 to 5, then you may be end up with the global illumination with none option. And you can simply select Lumen from this list and going to prompt you to restart the editor. Let's restart now. After the editor got restarted, and you are going to have the Lumen enabled in the project. And if you want to change the settings to ray tracing, you can select from the settings, or you can connect a post-process volume and change the global illumination settings there. And we will cover this topic much more detail in later session. For a quick test, let's create a post-process volume. I'm going to close this one. Select the post-process volume. Let's search for global illumination. And the default method is set as Lumen. Turn on this one. Let's change this one to ray trace. And we have other options like screen and plugins. So basically we have separate control over all three ray tracing. That's all about the global illumination, and so it's just a quick video to let you know that those settings are there. And we will talk about the light actors in the next video, and see you there.